All right, folks, we're back again for day 35 of this RV bedroom makeover remodel that we're doing. If this is your first day joining us, there's a link in the description of this video that will take you to the full playlist to see days 1 through 34. There's also an intro there that shows the before pictures and talks about what we're going to be doing. But today I'm hoping to finish up painting the upholstered chair and get ready to start painting the carpet. Now, yesterday I was telling you about, we checked out the sample carpet that I did. It does have a stiffness to the fibers where I painted it. And so I've got me a stiff brush. I'm going to try fluffing those up, and then I'm going to paint another section of it and use the brush to massage the paint into the fibers and see how each of them turn out after it's dry. See if the one that I fluffed up afterwards is sufficiently soft, or if the one that I'm fluffing up, or using the bristle brush on it while it's still wet, how that turns out. I may have to do both. Scrub it in with the brush and then let it dry and then fluff it up. So we're testing all this out. Hopefully I'll be ready to rock and roll on the carpet soon and know exactly what I'm doing and how I'm going to do it. So let's get started. Thank y'all for joining us again. Be sure and click the like button, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Okay, so this is my sample carpet that I used before. I painted the gray on it. Move this out of the way. I painted the gray on it. I like the way the color is. You can tell it didn't saturate down to the fibers as well as I would want it to. I've just got this stiff bristle brush that I ordered off of Amazon. You guys decide you want to order the same one, just message me in the link. I'll share with you a link to it. But it's got the handles, the long handle here that I can use when I go to do the floor. So I'm not going to put that on to do this. I'm just going to try brushing it without the handle. Sample carpet. Yeah, it's definitely not softening it up like I want it to be. Another thing I may end up having to do is use more water in the mix of water and paint and water and paint and fabric softener. I may have to put more water in to kind of thin it out a little bit more. But for our next test, I'm going to do right here in the middle. I'm going to leave the paint as thick as it was, but I'm going to do the one part water, 1 part fabric softener, 1 part paint. But I am going to work the paint in with this and see how that turns out. And then if that's still stiff, then the next test will include more water. Going to get a cup to do my mix in rather than trying to mix it in the tray, because that was a little bit difficult. So let me go get a cup. Okay. Here's my paint. fabric softener. And a little scoopful of water. Same measurements I used before. Like I said, if this still turns out stiff, I will be testing that again using at least 2 scoops of water, maybe 3. I may just go for the gusto if I have to change my formula again. So, all right. Funny, yesterday I was painting with that dark blue paint I had on a shirt that matched the colors, and today I'm painting with the gray, and I got a shirt that matched those colors. It's just amazes me how this starts out so thin and then it starts thickening up as you stir that. Something about that fabric softener just really triggers the paint, or maybe the paint triggers the fabric softener to thicken up. Just surprising. All right, let's pour this here in my tray. It's like the consistency of pudding, a dessert pudding. Good. All right, let me get this out of the way. Spread this out good so I can get the roller all in it. Probably popping holes in this little thin pan liner. Alright, let's move this down here so y'all can see better what I'm doing. This paint coated up pretty good. And we are going to do this strip right down through here. Try to get it a little bit more saturated than I did that first section. All right, now set this over here out of the way. And let's, I think I will put one of the handles on here, make it a little bit easier for me to control, I think. Maybe it's a different one that goes in first. I don't know. Oh, yep, I think the white end goes in there. There we go. I figured it out. Really interesting to see how this turns out as far as being softer. Of course, when I do the carpet, it's not going to shift like this. At least I hope it doesn't. All right. I'll do it up like that. Gonna fluff it up a little bit. And we're gonna leave it to dry. And we will check that out tomorrow and let you all know if that's softer. Go in here and clean my brush out a little bit more on this dry part. All right. Okay. Now we will leave that to dry and go back to working on my chair. So I got to figure out how to turn this over. Tell you what, before I do, I am going to wrap my roller back up with plastic wrap so it keeps it soft. I'll be right back. Okay, now over here to the chair that needs to be turned upright. This is going to be fun. Alright, I need to push it over a little bit. See if I can pull the tarp out from under it so that when it stands up, it'll stand up on tarp. Oh yeah, here it comes. There's the tarp. Okay. Now, to get this to stand up without breaking it or myself, I think I'm gonna make it. Alright, now to continue on with painting. Decisions on where to start. I think I'm gonna realized. Okay, so I'm going to finish this top and over to here on the arm and turn it around. Now I've noticed on this other chair there's some spots that just didn't get as much paint as others, so I think I'm going to end up doing a second light coat on there to get, especially on the arms, it looks kind of light color. So haven't been real consistent on getting the same amount of paint on all of it, so that's all right. We can do a second coat, can't we? Mix up some more paint. All right. Mix up my blue paint. And y'all, this is just the cheapest latex paint that Home Depot would colorize for me, color match for me. So that's all you need. You don't have to get anything real expensive. You know, any paint costs enough these days, doesn't it? All right, let me wipe that off. And we are doing A scoop of paint. Set this up there temporarily. I'll put it back in the container after I get this mixed up. Alright, so a scoop of paint. A scoop of water. And a scoopful of fabric softener. Alright, we'll stir that up. I don't know if you can see that. Very liquidy right now. The water kind of floating on top. But it's already beginning to thicken up. That fabric softener will start it to congealing. Quite as thick as it's going to get, so I'm going to stir a little bit more. Start and finish with the same consistency. See how thick that is? Now, let's turn back over to here so you all can watch me play. Let's see here. Maybe over here I won't be in the way as much. Goes a glob of paint on the carpet, on the tarp that's on the carpet. And once again, I forget to put my glasses on. This is where it's rounded and has these pleats that you have to work the paint into. Now, most likely, I would be better off to do a thin coat of paint. And come back and do another coat, or maybe even a third if necessary. Having it this thick is probably not ideal. If you're really concerned about how your chair is going to, the texture is going to be, you would want to consider doing multiple thinner coats than this big thick blob of paint that I'm putting on here. I am ready to get this done. Once again, I'd love it if y'all would go into the comments and give me a word of encouragement. We'll get this done eventually. also doing thinner coats, I think you probably have a better chance of having the same consistency throughout the project. Whereas I can see got some places that are darker, more saturated than others. This is one of those do as I say, not as I do situations. Bit without getting me completely saturated in paint. I guess I should get this front part. I'm getting tired, y'all. This painting this chair, ready for it to be done. All right. Oh my goodness. I don't know what makes me think I can pick up that kind of paint and not make a mess. Don't worry, I see it there. I'm coming back for it. Oh, you have my glasses on again, but I'm seeing spots that didn't get paint. Isn't that funny? If you're just joining us for the first time, I am doing this project while working full-time, so that's why part of why it's taken me so long. The other part is I'm just slow at doing stuff like this. I appreciate you all going to the comments and encouraging me to keep on. It's gonna get done. It's gonna get done eventually. At the very end, I'll let my husband, Ricky, Grandpa Ricky, for all you followers of our GrandparentsReact channel, I will let him come and see all of this for the first time. I haven't let him come in here, not letting him see any of the videos until this is done. And I will record his reaction for you on that final video. And we will do a compilation video that will show the renovation from beginning to end in a shortened format. And I think that will be fun to watch. I have a feeling after all this is over with, I'll still be getting out this blue paint and doing some more touch-ups and spots that I'll see. later on. That's just crazy to me how I just looked at that and didn't see these white spots, but I see them now. Got a skinnier sponge here, and I'm going to try getting down into some of these crevices with a little bit better. I see a spot down in there that, oh yeah, that's helpful. I'm going to use up the rest of this paint. We just almost used up. And then call it a day. I had really hoped to get this chair completely painted today, but that's all right. I'll get it. I should be able to get it completely painted tomorrow. These little crevices here, that little paintbrush is helpful for that. All right, I've still got the majority of this side to do, and I think a little bit of the back, around the back. And then hopefully we can get started with painting the carpet. I will come back tomorrow and test out this this carpet fibers to see if I need to make even more adjustments. Alright folks, I think I'm going to fluff up these carpet fibers one more time. What did I do with it? There it is. Okay, so we'll come back tomorrow and see if that is as stiff as this. This doesn't look bad, but it doesn't feel good. So I don't want to ruin my carpet. It's carpet's already all old and stained and got holes in it a couple places, so it won't be a big tragedy, but I'd have to do something different with it because I don't want to walk barefoot on that. That's just not cool. I don't turn the whole phone. All right folks, thank you so much for joining us again, and we will be back tomorrow, hopefully finish up that chair and then get started taping things off. I bought some special tarp type cover, clear plastic runner that's got tape already on it that I'll tape around the bottom of the walls in order to allow me to roll that paint and scrub that floor and not worry about getting that gray paint on my walls. So I'll show that to you whenever I get started on it, hopefully next time. But thank you all for joining us. Be sure and join us again tomorrow. Click that like button on this video. If you're still here, you must like something, and subscribe and follow, all those good things. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks everybody.